pursuing justice. But that's not what occurred here. What they will bring you is a case that is riddled with reasonable doubt.
Yo, gangsta nigga, you just making music. He got a 30 we ain't never seen.
Yeah, what's good? I want y'all to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Let's get them likes up. We need to get these views up. Let's keep this podcast going. Yeah, it's your boy Hoghead. What's good? This your boy Hoghead with the Haters Real podcast. Now let's get into this shit right here.
I had to make it look juicy for him.
Come on here with the Haters
Hit that
Real
like button.
podcast.
Now let's get it.
This case with YMW Melly, it goes one way, then it goes another way. But then when you look, you think it ain't no evidence, but the evidence is the camera from the night that they was at the studio. So the camera footage, it shows a lot. It shows who went in what car, who sat in what seats. And when the investigator got on the stand and recreated the crime scene, you can't deny that YNW Juvie was looking straight forward when he was shot, and Sack Chaser, he was shot in the head. And they seeing how the bullet went through. Then they showing all the blood in the front seat or in the back seat. Then at the end of the day, these boys, YNW Portland and YNW Melly, they change clothes, ride around with dead bodies, damn near 40 minutes to an hour. Then he go to the hospital. So you go to the hospital an hour later, you supposed to be your partners? Man, y'all extorted them boys. Y'all extorted them boys so y'all can get that money. 100 Track was involved. 100 Track snitched on Melly. I don't care what y'all say, because he gave up that phone. That's why the prosecution has that phone. So 100 Track, he rented the vehicle. So how the hell, after this so-called drive-by shooting, did they all beat up at Fredo Bang's house? Now that's some bullshit. Then Trayvon Glass, he said that he noticed YNW Borland and YNW Melly had on different clothes than what they had on at the studio. Okay, now they talking about YNW Melly, how he be talking to his mama. He don't even talk to her like a mama, talk to her like a friend, because, you know, the mama didn't know how to be a mama, so she knew how to be a friend to her kids. And you can't be a friend to your kids because you raised this YNW Melly, you raised him, and he got all these personalities and mixed reactions and all this bullshit. And when he turned into Melvin, you don't know what the hell gonna go on. So it's like he took his partners out, he extorted them so he can get on the rise and get money. Then the way he shot that video, like he didn't even give a fuck. Had a damn big ass security guard with him. So, man, YNW Melly, what can convict him is that footage from the studio. Because Trayvon Glass said that they had booked a studio time for 12 hours. But then they was at the studio and they got late and they was tired. And it showed when they was walking to the vehicle, showed Melly with that bag with that gun up in there. So at the end of the day, that's gonna convict him. Then his cell phone was pinging. So when his cell phone was pinging, the prosecution know everywhere where the cell phone was pinging. They know where the towers, which towers they were at. They know that they told them this botch ass story, and they know that where they said it happened at, it did not happen in that location. It happened in a different location. So that's how they knew that it was a plot. They knew it was a setup for them to take their homeboys out and extort them for money. So YNW Melly, they making bets online Is he gonna be convicted or not? You feel me? But then you got other people out here, they just like free Melly. How y'all gonna say free Melly? What about if he did this to your homeboy? What about if he did this to your family member? Then be praying and trying to laugh in court. Come on now. Y'all know that's that bullshit. So at the end of the day, y'all need to reach out into your hearts and be like, we know this dude did this, but we just got to make sure the prosecution know that he did this, which they do, and that the judge and the jury find him guilty. Off top, I can tell you this. He gonna be found guilty because the jury, we probably don't know what the jury look like, but I guarantee you the jury is probably like anywhere between their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and maybe even 70s. And they probably looking at him just like he a killer, he a savage. We need to get this 8-4 vote. And we need to find out if he really do got murder on his mind. Because he can get the death penalty, but I guarantee you, he might just get life. But he gonna get some time because everything is pointing to YNW Melly. So if you don't understand that cell phone towers and pinging and they knowing your location everywhere you go, they knew his location everywhere he went that night by his cell phone that 100 track gave up. So in the and in the studio, them leaving the studio, showing which vehicle that who was getting in and all that, that's evidence too. So the defense is going to have to come with some more facts to let the jury and the judge and the prosecution know that YNW Melly is not guilty. But everything is pointing to YNW Portland and YNW Melly guilty because they changing clothes and they knew what they had on their mind. They plotted this shit, man. They plotted this shit right after Sack Chaser put them hands on YNW Melly in front of his girl. So they had already put that shit in motion. So once they put that shit in motion, the main team players, they already knew what to do. So Melly, he wanted to play it out and he wanted to catch the bodies. That's what really happened. I'm just being real. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I want y'all to like, subscribe, comment, and share. But this your boy Hoghead with the Haters Real podcast. Get it, your boy.
What's good? This your boy Hoghead with the Haters Real podcast. Now let's get into this shit right here.
I had to make it look juicy for him.
Come on here with the Haters. Hit that like button. Now let's get into this shit right here.